Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Brawlin' with Brett. This video is going to be the second day, I suppose, of Questing Beast. This is if it's coming out. If you're watching as it goes live, this came out on Wednesday. So if you watched Monday's video, we went 3 in a row, pretty fast with Questing Beast. So we are undefeated so far this week. Really quick rundown of the deck. We're playing Questing Beast. We're playing Ramp, aggressive green creatures, and a few new excellent cards from Theros to help us out. If you want to see a more detailed review of the deck, I took care of that in video 1. Check that out. And so we're gonna play some Brawl. We're gonna get rolling. So the theme of Brawlin' with Brett is not about how to win all the time. That's why I'm not giving you deck techs on Niv Mizzet, Golos, things like that. I'm playing decks I like. This just happens to be a particularly strong deck. So while the game is not all about winning, it is nice to win, and it's nice to win several in a row. So that's feeling pretty good. See if we can keep it up. This does not have any mana dorks. This does. This looks good to me. So we are playing against, Monoway to Johnny. That should be interesting. So we're going to open up here with the cabin. I don't think it's super likely we're going to... we're not guaranteed to get the 3 forests, and I don't want that coming into play untapped later on. So there's no reason not to just put that in there. Ooh. They got 2 mana open. Let's take out their 1 creature here. Normally I'd want to ramp, but that feels pretty good. And if they had any tricks, it'd be nice to make them do it there. So anytime we can get a 3-power creature on the board and trade. Oh, okay. It would have been... Hanged Executioner is annoying for sure. But that's okay. We're going to crash in, and if our opponent wants to double block, I'm not going to complain. So no reason to pre-combat either of our 2 drops. We're going to play the Caryatid because we don't have the guarantee. We don't have the land, and I'd really like to get Questing Beast in. Okay, our opponent had to play a tap land here. And so they can't Hanged Executioner us, and if that is how they want to spend their next turn, that's fine with me. So we're going to crash in here. Looks like they might have some kind of trick. Oh, Giant Killer, okay. There goes Questing Beast, kind of a bummer, but that's okay. We still have a decent board. And hopefully we'll get a land next turn, because then we can get Nissa or Cavalier going. So here comes a Ajani. We need to be real cautious here because these Pride Mates can get out of hand. Golly, I'm trying to think our best option here. We can eat... We could eat the Pride Mate. We could eat the Pride Mate with the Vicious Hydra. I want to attack into Ajani and force some blocks here. So, okay, here's what we're going to do. We're going to play the Wicked Wolf. We're going to gobble the Pride Mate up. And we're going to bash into Ajani. And our opponent's probably going to block with their 1/1. But that's okay with me. Keeping their board whittled down. If they want to use their Hanged Executioner, they're going to need to tap out for it. And now Ajani's down to 1. And they don't have any life gain right now. Now, I say as they get some life gain. So, again, far from the end of the world. Okay, we got another land. Trying to decide what we want to do here. Because we could just eat that Pride Mate up. And then they're going to have to... Then, yeah, okay. So we're just going to X's 3 this Voracious Hydra. No, it was wise of them to deal with Questing Beast. So they've got the mana. If they play another land to replay Ajani. But if they replay Ajani, then we can put Questing Beast down and roll in. So I'm okay with this scenario right now. Okay, getting a couple more little ones, and then the Giant Killer comes down. Okay, getting some weenies down on the board. Ooh, and Heliod, who's very much not a weenie, which is frustrating. Heliod's a little hard to deal with. We basically need to kill them around Heliod. Gosh, part of me is just saying we henge it. It's hard not to. We could Nissa down And then we'd have 1, 2, 3 mana. That's not really helping us get the henge down faster. That'd be a pretty cheap henge. A lot of options. I don't want to give a great target to the Hanged Executioner, so we're going to put the henge down. Deciding, you know what? While we've got our little extra mana, we could Horn Beetle, but I'm going to just get rid of the Hanged Executioner. Now they don't get to exile any of our creatures, and we get a bash in. So Heliod's kind of scary, but I think we're in an okay position here. We have a great henge, so it's hard to overstate how incredible this card is. If our opponent can't answer that, we're gonna get a really dumb board. So, and it also looks like our opponent's stuck on 5, so that's why we probably haven't seen Ajani come down, unless they play the land in Ajani right now. But I feel like that's okay. Nicely. Nice. We're in a good position. So yeah, Nissa comes down next.
We will not fail. Harness the elements.
Then the Questing Beast comes down. And we get a counter on the Questing Beast. So they're going to be able to tap down one of our creatures, which looks like they're going to do that right now. That's fine. We get to draw another creature. We got to put the Nessian Horn Beetle down pre-combat. We are doing this pre-combat here because we're going to get a counter and then another counter because we have Questing Beast. Ooh. Nylea plus Great Henge is really good. Now, it's a little bit overkill, but it doesn't suck. I'll tell you that much. So, okay. Crashing in here. Now, there's always the risk that our opponent could flash in some additional devotion. But, even if Heliod comes on as a creature right now, I'm not super scared. Oh, that is frustrating to have the pacifism on Questing Beast. I am irritated by that, but we're gonna persevere. I think we're gonna be okay. Okay. Thorn Mammoth comes down. We are going to get rid of something here. We are going to get rid of... Yeah, just because we were going to actually be able to play another creature and get more fights in here. Okay, and there was the Ugin draw. We're good. We got that cleaned up. Okay, that went a little longer than I was expecting it to. That got a little scary. I think Heliod's a really solid commander. I'm excited to see White getting some cool stuff. I'd like to see more varied stuff from White, but you know, it's better than stuff we've been getting. Better than the Queen from the last set. What's the Queen's name from the last set? Linden. Better than Queen Linden, and she's really cool in the deck. So okay, let's get another game in here. 4-0 this week, so doing really good. I'm always shocked that I think I've run into Questing Beast once, maybe twice, in my entirety of playing Brawl on Arena, which is just shocking to me. He seems like such a great commander. Also, it's just nice to see so many varied decks and not just the 5-color good stuff decks that I'm kind of sick of seeing. No Niv Mizzet or Golo so far is great, and I'm not complaining. So, let's see if they are going to be in a better spot than our last opponent. They're going first. Okay. We're in a pretty decent spot. We're going to see the turn 3 Questing Beast probably. We're going to play the Signet just because I think it's going to be a little more likely for it to live. They might have a removal spell, shock, or the like if we played a creature. Sometimes it's safest to just jam the artifact. So they got 3 mana open, which is frustrating. But let's play the Shifting Ceratops. Now, we can't give it haste, but they can't counter it. And so if they were keeping a counter spell open, we blanked their turn, and we put a 5/4 into play. So again, I would have liked to have gotten Questing Beast going, but that's okay. And now if they want to live in a world where they're just keeping mana open to counter all their stuff, we have a threat. If we ran Questing Beast into one... Oh, and now we can safely put Questing Beast down. Because they aren't going to be able to counter him for 1 mana. So, we'll go and put that down. And, don't think there's anything to do here but slam and Questing Beast. And we've got Ugin in hand who can come down next turn if we feel like the way is safe from counter spells. And so if they just removal spell our Questing Beast and we they don't have the counter magic up, we can just start up-ticking Ugin. So they did... So nothing there implies something scary is happening. So first we'll bash in to see if they're going to answer Questing Beast. Now we need to decide what route we want to go. I think we drop Cavalier because Ugin could answer Niv Mizzet in a way that Cavalier isn't. And so if they're going to counter the Cavalier, that's okay. We still have the Ugin. Yep, okay, there we go. And there's the counterspell. See, I'm not crazy. I'm always talking, oh, what if they have this? What if they have that? I'm not crazy. So if Niv Mizzet comes down, normally you have to deal with, oh, the Royal Scions, which implies they... I suppose they don't necessarily have a answer to Questing Beast because we can't one-shot with the Beast. So they got 3 mana open, which is that awkward possible counterspell magic again. Not that there aren't 2 mana counterspells, but the consistent guaranteed ones are 3. So the question becomes, do we risk the Ugin now? I think we're going to risk it. We're going to put the Ugin down. Make them have it. They've got it. Okay, they got the Ionize. That's a little bit disappointing. That's okay. It looks like they're off Niv Mizzet mana because they've got their Blast Zone there. We got the Royal Scions in killing range here. Ooh, and another one that can't get them Niv Mizzet down. So we got to finish the Scions off, hopefully. Just a couple Mana Dorks and the End Rays. But they're also at 13. We're keeping them pretty low. I'm trying to... Do they have enough to... 1, 2, 3... They do have an... Okay, they have enough to... Enough to bring Questing Beast down. So...
What is my strategy here?
Is this last card a counterspell? Is the real question. And, we are gonna run the Questing Beast out and make them have it. If they've got it, they've got it. And they've got it! Darn it. So the Beast gets command zoned, but they have no cards in hand. They get a Surveil, so they're pitching the land, which is interesting, because that would have let them get Niv Mizzet in. So I don't know what they're looking for. So the Royal Scions are kind of awkward, and you just have 1 card. So they're digging. And there's another land. I find that really fascinating, because if I were them, I would just want to get my commander down. Okay, and there's Ral. Oh boy, okay. Which is also annoying. Ral's gonna draw him a card. That sucks. We're 1 off from Questing Beast. We have just a bunch of freaking Mana Dorks here. This one has been not playing out as well. We need a 5-drop. I'm trying to think if we have a 5-drop that is particularly impressive. We already lost the Cavalier of Thorns. Let's go get a 5-drop. So we're going to dump all our mana. Gosh, we might go get Nylea. Which we could have kept an additional mana open. We could also... Oh, ooh, the Biogenic Ooze is probably... No, the Ooze will just get sniped by Ral. Nylea can't get sniped by Ral. And so Nylea will enable us to get Questing Beast out next turn if we need to. It'll also just make everything a little bit cheaper. And a red-blue deck is not going to have a ton of ways to interact with a indestructible enchantment. They aren't going to be able to burn it. They could get it. They could bounce it potentially.
I enjoyed the proper
But
knowledge.
man, I'm not out of a problem with it. It's just so shocking how Scottish the Royal Scions are. I'm just really not. I don't know if even over it's the right word. I just wasn't prepared for it, and I continue to not be prepared for it. Oh, wow. Okay, Magic Mirror. That's not great for us. They've already seen a lot more cards than we have. They are 10 deeper than we are right now. Okay, I think we just play Nissa. I think we just play Nissa and hope they don't have the counterspell. We've burned through so many counterspells. They only have one blue open. I really hope we have the Nissa here. If we can untap with the Nissa, I think we might be in a decent spot. It's really upsetting me how long they're taking here. I am feeling very uncomfortable. Oh boy. Yeah, the suspense is palpable. Could you say it's okay? Chemister's in sight. Okay, we got it. Nissa down. And Ral can't target Nissa, so let's get a land up here. Okay, we've got 1, 2, 3. We need 2 more, which we can get. Nylea is live, and let's kill. Gosh, if we aiding in them seems really good, but I want to untap with most of our stuff, so we're gonna kill Ral. They're tapped out. Ral's dead. And do we have anything else we can do here? No, I don't think so. Suppose we could Field of Ruin, but I don't want to give them Visit mana. So as of right now, the Magic Mirror is not a terribly impressive draw spell. They've drawn 1 card off it. Oh, Labyrinth. Now, Labyrinth is a card we're going to get rid of at the end step. So they have a bunch of cards in hand, but we have a hell of a board, and they probably can't deal with absolutely everything we have. Anytime we've got a deck like this digging on their main phase is a good sign. They are trying to find answers to stuff, and so we are at the end step going to take out the Labyrinth of Scophos so that they can't remove our best creature from combat. That's a card I'm actually considering putting in this deck. Okay, so they're going to my turn. So we're going to Field of Ruin on the Labyrinth. Submit. Love Field of Ruin. This is a card that should be in every standard environment all the time. And that actually ramps us a little bit, because we get to go get a forest, which will be tapping for 2. With Nissa. Oh, we get a bunch of creatures. Well, we don't necessarily get a bunch of creatures, but we get potentially the end. They probably have got a counterspell, right? They've drawn a bunch of cards. We have a lot of mana. We might have enough mana to have it all, to live the dream and have it all. So forest goes down. So that is 5, 6, 7, 14 mana. Which plus 7. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I think we've got mana for both. So let's see if they counter the Questing Beast. Which they're thinking about doing something to us. Oh gosh, I'm really thinking hard about it. Which, I mean, they're playing a kind of control-y deck. I don't want to be rude. Oh my gosh, I was playing standard and I was playing best of 3, and I actually had my opponent take the game to time and lost from the 50-minute chess clock. It was okay. They don't even see the end raise. Okay, we got him. Whew. Record is preserved. We're gonna end Wednesday's video 5-0. Let's see if we can keep this going until Friday. So everybody, thanks so much for tuning in. This has been Brawlin' with Brett here on TCG University. If you want to hear more of me talking for some reason, you can catch me at MTG Study Hall. I really appreciate you tuning in. Patreon's a big one. We really appreciate that. Have a good one. We'll see you on Friday.